Good morning everyone. Myself Vaidya Vrishali Santosh Swami, Professor and HOD of Panchakarma Department. Welcome you all to the third session of National Webinar Series on Changing Trends in Ayurveda Practices due to Impact of COVID-19. Today's topic is Panchakarma Treatment Perspective after COVID-19. On this occasion, I am privileged to introduce today's honorable eminent resource person, Dr. Nachiket Vachasundar sir, who is leading Ayurveda practitioner at Sukhayu Ayurveda Panchakarma and Wellness Center, Karad, District Satara, Maharashtra. Sir has completed his BMS degree and post-graduation from SC Mutha Aryangla Vaidyak Mahavidyalaya, Satara, and practicing as Ayurveda physician and Panchakarma specialist since 1990. He has done research in various diseases like viral hepatitis, sciatica, vitiligo, varicose veins, topics like stevia in diabetes, vachatailanasya and sinusitis. He has participated in national as well as international conferences. He has visited to Switzerland, France, Dubai, Germany, Sri Lanka to present research paper and propagation of Ayurveda. He also had done paper column writing articles in Madhura, a supplement of Daily Sakar from 1999. Some articles are published in magazines like Maitrin, Vaidyaraj Vanaushadhi, Sugandha Sarita and Daily Pudhari. Sir has also appeared on Sahyadri Doordarshan in the Hello Doctor program in October 2003 and Namaskar Alpha on Zee TV Marathi. Sir is an author of very famous Vyavharik Panchakarma Vigyan book published in 2005 by the auspicious hands of Vaidya H.S. Kasture, and second revised edition is published in 2012 by the auspicious hands of Vaidya P.T. Joshi. Sir has been felicitated with various awards like Vaidya Daji Shastri Pade Award from Vaidya Khadiwale Vaidyak Sanstha Pune in 1999, Vaidya Sathe Award from Ayurved Vigyan Mandal Mumbai in 2005, International Excellence Award by Vanaushadhi Vidyapith at Dubai in 2010, International Best Book Award at Colombo, Sri Lanka in 2012, and Prerna Puraskar from Tilak High School, Karad. At present, Sir is Chairman of Sukhayu Foundation, Karad, and visiting Professor of Ayurvedic Medicine to SC Mutha Aryangla Vaidyak Mahavidyalaya, Satara. So, I would like to request Dr. Nachiket Vachasundar sir to deliver his lecture.
Namaste. Hello and welcome to the session of the national webinar on the current situation of COVID-19 and its effects on Panchakarma treatments. It's my pleasure indeed to be with you all in this webinar. I believe that this would be an appropriate platform through which I can share some views regarding Panchakarma treatments with respect to COVID-19 pandemic. My salute to Bhagwan Dhanvantari, the god of Ayurveda, the Honorable Principal of MES College of Ayurveda, the Vice Principal, respectable teachers, learned faculties, PG scholars, students, and well-wishers of Ayurveda. I must thank the organizers for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to be with you all. Thank you MES and it's all the organizers. I congratulate the organizers for organizing this webinar on practically important subject in the current situation. Since last few months, the entire world is in the battle against novel coronavirus, that is the COVID-19 virus. More than 180 countries are worstly affected due to this pandemic. Various streams of healthcare across the world are working hard to find out the exact solution for this serious challenge in front of the humanity. Globally, around 3.4% of the reported patients have lost their lives. However, the mortality rate around the globe is variable. The pandemic is severely affecting various countries in different ways. Social and economic losses are unimaginable. Common man has a grave impact on his physical as well as psychological health. The virus spreads from one person to many in a very short period of time. It can last in the air for 8 to 12 hours. Fast and rampant spread is its peculiarity. Initially, it attacks on the endothelium of upper respiratory tract and ultimately travels to bronchi and lungs. People infected with COVID 19 can still infect others after they stop feeling sick. So, the preventive measures should continue for at least 2 weeks after the symptoms disappear. Most people infected with COVID-19 virus have mild disease and recover of their own. By this time, we all are well aware of the COVID-19 symptoms, its spread, limitations of the treatment, nature of the virus, serious symptoms of the disease, and all other its aspects. Now we shall throw some light on the Ayurvedic perspective of COVID-19. In our ancient Ayurvedic treatises, our acharyas have defined some terms. Those terms are relevant in the context of COVID-19. Ashukari. A disease is called Ashukari when it shows acute symptoms, whereas a chronic disease is labeled as Chirakari. If not treated properly, it worsens quickly and even it can lead to death. The symptoms are few and it affects only one or two systems. Sankramak Vyadhi is the second point. It means a contagious disease. It gets transferred from person to person very quickly, either by touch, droplets, or having food together or sleeping together, or by exchanging clothes, ornaments, or other private belongings. Third point is Hetu. Hetu means the etiology of the disease. In such a pandemic, there always exists an unnatural and unusual reason. According to Ayurveda, consuming unnatural food is one of the most important etiological factors. In case of COVID-19, the Wuhan fish market is supposed to be the epicenter according to the many researchers. Also, we have to consider Trivid Pariksha, Ashtavid Pariksha, Dushyam Desham Balam Kalam Analam Prakrutim Vayah Satvam Satyam Tatharam Avasthasya Prutagvida. Instead of judging Ayurveda through the specs of modern medicine, Ayurveda should follow its own traditional and written wisdom for the diagnosis and, of course, the subsequent treatment. Concept of pandemic in Ayurveda. Ayurveda has explained endemic or pandemic diseases in its own words. The word is Janapadodvams. In Janapadodvams, the vital element, namely air, water, land, and time, please see, time, it gets vitiated. This type of disease can affect masses at the same time, irrespective of the individual immunity, constitution, and lifestyle. In normal circumstances, Ayurveda treats the patients according to their individual constitution. So the treatment of same disease may differ from person to person. But in the case of Janaparodvams, the basic treatment of the different categories of the disease remains the same. Along with the proper isolation and disease specific treatment, patients are advised to follow healthy diet, lifestyle, exercise routine, immunomodulatory measures, and they are also advised for their mental well-being. Besides utmost care, a fixed number of patients are likely to lose their lives. According to Ayurveda, the reason behind these deaths are individual immunity and individual karmas, positive or negative deeds committed by the particular patient. According to Ayurveda, COVID 19 can be classified under औपसर्गिक, अशुकारी, संक्रामक, जनबोध्वंस जनित सन्निपात ज्वर. A type of agantuch sannipata jwar you can say. Line of the treatment is as follows. As per the clinical presentations, we can consider COVID-19 infection as kapha pradhan, pitta madhyam, vataksheen, sannipatak jwar. Because major sthan of dosha sanchay is of kapha dosha, our treatment will be dealt initially from kapha sthan. Prevention of dhatu paka will be achieved by maintaining dhatvagni and with the use of appropriate rasayan chikitsa for the concerned dhatu. According to Ayurveda, an epidemic or pandemic occurs when the humans behave irrationally, unethically, and against the nature. This is the main point. Now let us see Ayurveda's contribution in controlling COVID-19 pandemic. Ayurveda can contribute in controlling COVID-19 pandemic in many ways. Here is the list. It can guide the community for dietary regimens. Ayurvedic diet can play a vital role in immunity building and overall well-being of the people. Ayurveda can also guide for personal hygiene, daily routine, that is dinacharya, and some aspects regarding public hygiene also. But Ayurveda's role is not limited up to the preventive measures. My friends, its curative aspect is the key portion also. In that context, at a generic level, main criteria for the Ayurvedic protocol here have been the safety, the potential efficacy, the broad spectrum applicability, ease of administration, affordability, availability of the medicine. There are so many aspects. Now the general measures in COVID-19 pandemic. You are well aware of all these measures. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapnavavedasya, yogo bhavati dukkhaha. To stay safe at home, quarantine if suspected the infection, physical distancing, personal, family and social cleanliness, wearing masks, face shields, gloves, gowns, PPE kits as per the requirement, hand wash and sanitizers frequently, regular physical exercise, yoga, family time, creative hobbies like music, painting, sports, psychological health, yoga and meditation, and the spiritual practice, Omkar mantra chanting, who are well aware of these spiritual practices. These are the general measures in COVID-19 pandemic suggested by Ayurveda, which you can follow regularly. Now the Ayurvedic anti-COVID protocol. We have recently suggested this protocol for the suspected, asymptomatic, pre-symptomatic and carriers. After studying original treatises of Ayurveda, current scientific studies on COVID-19 and our experiential knowledge of Jwara, we suggested an innovative protocol for the intervention in COVID-19 patients. We suggested stepwise and stage-wise Ayurvedic treatment for COVID-19. We have a great experience regarding Ayush Kwath to the persons in quarantine, corona warriors, including health and cleaning staff, ASHA workers of our area, gas cylinder distributors, fitness freaks, volunteers, through our NGO, that is Sukhayu Foundation. As on today, we have distributed 25,000 cups of Ayush Kadha in our city and its periphery. I am very much pleased to share our experience that no person who has consumed this Kadha successively for 15 days has become positive in our district and distribution network. So you can plan to dispense this quart to all your doctors, staff members and Panchakarma patients as a preventive as well as curative measures. We have also suggested separate Ayurvedic protocols to active cases of COVID-19 with mild symptoms and moderate to severe patients. We have also suggested specific Ayurvedic protocol for those who are declared as cured, meaning that they are having pathological test negative. They should not be left untreated as it is customary nowadays. The exact behavior of COVID-19 virus is not still clear, and there is a possibility of these patients to be turned into asymptomatic carriers. They should be treated with Pranavahas Srotas Rasayanas. Now, the fear factor. We have got different fears in our mind nowadays. As a Vaidya, we have got responsibility of our patients and our assistants also. We have to take responsibility of our near and dear ones also. Besides that, we are having a few of medical legal cases which we eventually face in such a critical period in our minds. And it is not an irrational fear, my friend. Due to the repeated lockdowns, we are facing scarcity and non-availability of our usual medicines that are required for panchakarma and instruments which we get easily otherwise. We have to take care of our panchakarma centers also, our setup also, and its safety also. There is a fear factor amongst all of us regarding panchakarma treatments. Patients are always anxious about panchakarma treatments. In this period of COVID-19, though our clinics are open, people don't approach us for panchakarma treatments. Even if we advise them for panchakarma, they are arha. They tell us so many reasons, and we know the true reason behind it, the fear. Even if a patient is convinced, our staff members are also not ready to cooperate us fully as usual. Most of them are on leave. Those who attend the duties are not sure that they will continue to do so in the coming days. They are having fear about corona. They frankly admit it or not. But yes, they have fear in their minds. As a Vaidya, we also wish to do Panchakarma treatments on our patients nowadays. But there is a fear in our mind due to the controversies that we come across all the while. Due to the internet, we are exposed to the world now. We get a load of information from all our sources. So we are suspicious about our future now. Though it is our duty to treat our patients, we are having fear in our minds. If we are convinced our family members are worried about our health, they don't allow us to do so. So these are the hurdles. The message is proceed with safety and care. Proceed with safety and care. COVID 19 has affected all the walks of our life, including Ayurveda and Panchakarma. Within the period of COVID 19, most Ayurvedic practitioners have shut up their Panchakarma centers. A few enterprises have been struggling to continue Panchakarma procedures. We have many doubts, many fears, grudges, ifs, and buts in our minds. To a particular thought, there is always a pros also and cons also. But most of the senior practitioners have advised us to continue Panchakarma treatments. The message is loud and clear. proceed Panchakarma treatments with utmost safety and utmost care. We always care for our patients. We always think about the safety of all of us, including patients. But this is a critical period in which we have to take more and more care, more and more care. We have to continue our daily routine of Panchakarma practices in the critical period of COVID-19. That is true. For this purpose, we have to keep holistic approach. We have to monitor the patients in pre-operative, that is Purva Karma phase, operative, that is Pradhan Karma phase, and post-operative, that is Paschat Karma period. We have to take proper care of all the concerned persons, all the involved persons, directly or indirectly connected persons also. It includes all the doctors, that is Vaidyas, all the staff members, including the security persons, sweepers, clerical staff members, all put together Upasthata. We have to take care of all our patients, OPD patients, IPD patients, their relatives, accompanying persons, even their drivers and auto rickshaw walas. These all put together called as rogis. So we have to look after our medicines, its stock, its storage, etc. We have to take care of our Panchakarma center, our instruments, our furniture, our buildings, the premises, the vehicles, etc., etc., etc. The list is so big. कमजोर कड़ी कौन, एक भी कड़ी कमजोर नहीं रहना चाहिए. Protecting the protectors. In all this scenario, Vaidyas are having utmost importance. We are the protectors of the society. In this critical period of COVID-19, Ayurveda is a ray of hope to many citizens. So, Vaidyas must be protected in any situation. Vaidyas should be physically, mentally, emotionally, economically, socially balanced if we have to protect our society. After Vaidyas and doctors, our nursing staff is also having much importance, because in the absence of them, we cannot run our clinics and Panchakarma centers. So we must protect our staff members also. They should be kept in a good health. If we don't protect the protectors, it's not fair. It will create a social stigma also. So our most important goal is to protect the protectors. We can supply fresh Ayurvedic kadha for doctors as well as the staff members of the same. For this whole plan, we have to follow certain principles. We have to chalk out a definite plan and follow it strictly. But the principles in our mind are extremely important. No doubt, we have to perform all the Panchakarma practices with special care, utmost care, but the patient should be completely arha, that is eligible. Anarha should not be treated. So remember the principle, Kriya Kalam Nahapet, arha patient should be treated promptly. Those patients who don't need Panchakarma treatment urgently should not be induced. They should be postponed and should be treated safely afterwards. No question of economy should be kept in mind as on today. So safety first should be the principle. Here, my friends, keep one thing in mind. No authority has told us to refrain from Panchakarma. No government authority has stopped us from doing Panchakarma. Whether it is Ayush or whether it is a state government or central government, nobody has restricted us so far. So we have to freedom to continue our Panchakarma procedures, and hence our responsibility also increases. We have to take our own decisions. We have to face the consequences of our own. Certainly, in last few days, Delhi government has chalked out some guidelines regarding our Panchakarma practices. We should refer it also. Selection of the patients. So our responsibility increases in everything, including the selection of our patients. No doubt, we perform our Panchakarma practices on selected patients. But in the COVID-19 scenario, the rule should be more strict. Strictly Arha patient is understood. The patient preferably can be selected with a reference. The age of the patient should be also considered. It should be from 18 to 50 only. 18 years to 50 years only. No young children and no senior citizens should be selected because they are more prone for the infection of COVID-19. So naturally we should avoid comorbid patients, that is the patients having hypertension, diabetes, IHD, chronic kidney diseases, respiratory illness like TB, pneumonia, asthma. These patients should be avoided. You should also avoid the patients who have undergone major surgeries in their recent past. So select only those patients who can tolerate the Panchakarma procedures with physical capacity and mental ability also. Take a written consent from the patients as well as from their relatives also. It's very important. With other points, you also make them write that they are not having any COVID-19 like symptoms and they are not having any close contact with COVID-19 people also. So with their usual preparation, you can prescribe them anti-COVID Ayurvedic medicine sufficiently prior to the patient, sufficiently prior to the Panchakarma procedure. Relevant laboratory tests should also be done if possible. The patient should be Bhishakvashya, Adhya, Jnapak, Satvavan. Adhya because he has to bear the slightly increased cost of the Panchakarma treatment due to the COVID special care. We always hope for the best, but we should get ready for the worst. If anyone out of your patients unfortunately becomes positive during or after Panchakarma treatment, we have to take all the care. Initially, the patient should be quarantined along with all his contacts. He should get immediate treatment for his illness. If he is asymptomatic, he should be given appropriate treatment also. His follow-up test may be done promptly. The center, the care of the center. Normally the Panchakarma center gets temporarily shut down, which may become a social stigma along with the huge economic loss. The proper cleaning and sanitization is done carefully. All the concerned people also get screened and treated accordingly. Staff and doctors, in this condition, all the concerned doctors, vaidyas and staff members should be tested. They all should be quarantined. They should start Ayurvedic medicines for prevention and to stop further spread. The relatives of all the concerned doctors and staff members should also be screened and treated accordingly. Need of establishing standards, that is SOP for Panchakarma centers, that is standard operating process for Panchakarma centers. A central body should establish and design standard SOP for all the Panchakarma centers in India. We must follow universal rules and regulations so as to achieve uniformity across the country. The governing body should set the guidelines considering all the facts and probable functioning regarding Panchakarma treatments. We should follow digital technology and avoid direct physical contact after possible. It is the key point. Policy change for running Ayurvedic dispensaries and Panchakarma centers should be considered. As a policy matter, disposable kits of or instruments or utensils or clothes or drapes or medicines should be adopted. Utmost care is taken for ensuring safety, building trust regarding Vaidyas, staff members, patients and the Panchakarma center. For the safety purpose, we should avoid direct physical contact as far as possible. For safety purpose, we should use copper utensils where we can use them. The efficacy of copper is proven in early days. Thanks to the wisdom of our sages, they have given importance to the copper in our ancient life. As far as possible, medicine should also be reused, not reused or recycled. They should not be shared with other patients. This thing should be considered in mind. By considering all such universal issues, we should establish a standard operating process for all the Panchakarma centers across India and strictly follow it. This is the era is totally new. So we must establish training centers and training programs. The new era has come. We have to follow the new rules. So all the concerning persons should be trained according to the new SOP. Doctors, staff members, patients should be trained. Training should be organized by the concerning institutions. All concerned persons should be trained how to take care of themselves and concerning other persons also. They should be taught how, when, and for how much time they should wash their hands properly. They should be taught how a mask is worn, how a PPE kit is worn, how a shield is worn. So they should be trained to sanitize the premises, rooms, tables, instruments. They should be trained to acquire new skills that are circulated time to time by the concerning authorities and the government authorities. They should be trained to live with corona and perform Panchakarma procedures safely. Some modifications in the Panchakarma setups are needed. For that matter, we should change ourselves a little bit. The modification should start from our Panchakarma setup itself. The importance of workplace is highlighted today. We can make some changes in our clinics. For example, we can keep separate entrance for Panchakarma patients, whereas wherever possible, we can make transparent sheets, partitions between two persons, say doctors and patients and staff members, between the two patients. Every possible arrangement is made for physical distancing using smart methods. We can make separate provisions for sanitization for patients and therapists. We can make provisions of dhupan in every room and every chamber, including medicine preparation rooms also. We can make arrangement for prior appointments with sufficient gap between two successive patients. For our safety, we must keep all possible records in our prescribed manner. Wherever possible, we can install foot operated door openers. We can clean and sanitize our setup after every patient, including medicines area, preparation rooms, pantries, etc. So we have to modify our setup. These are the pictures in our Panchakarma centers of daily cleaning, sanitization, and other precautions. Dhupan, that is Ayurvedic fumigation. Dhupan is nothing but medicated fumigation, which is traditionally practiced in Ayurveda. Acharya Sushruta has given extreme importance to Dhupan. It is found to be effective in various organisms like fungi, bacteria and viruses. Dhupan keeps atmosphere clean, healthy and pious. So many dravyas are used in Dhupan. Here is the list. Check the list. Vacha, Gugul, Devdar, Ajamauda, Nimba, Musta, Karpur, Kachora, Loban, all along with the cow dung cake and desi cow ghee. It is observed that where there is a custom of dhupan, there are less chances of infection from various organisms. It also prevents mosquitoes and other unwanted pests also. It is the peculiar Ayurvedic way of disinfecting the persons, the instruments, clothes, instruments and atmosphere also. These are dhupan dravyas. This is Ayurvedic fumigation, cow dung cake, ghee, some of the dravyas and dhupan yantra. Now the personal care. Now little bit of personal care, the patient's care and the staff care. In the wake of COVID-19, one must care personally. The personal care has a vital importance in this era. First of all, we must follow the government rules that may change time to time. One must remember that the rules are for our safety. We all should download Arogya Setu app, the Ayush Sanjeevani app, so that we can be in touch with the government authorities. It is important for information, education, and our safety also. We all should be aware about cleaning, sanitization, vapors, gargling, dhumpan, nasya, and other personal measures. Important thing is that we should practice it daily and tirelessly and without any shortcut. We should wear masks, PPE kits, face shields wherever and whenever they are required. They should be worn neatly and properly and promptly. We should avoid crowding at any cost. We should avoid unnecessary touch to body and surfaces. The patient who comes to our clinic should use his or her personal clothes, drapes, towels, soaps, shampoos, and all the personal belongings. Psychological stability is having vital importance. So we must boost morale of our patients as well as our therapists also. For boosting our immunity, we should consume Ayushvat tablets, various medicines, and should follow healthy diet. Therapists should avoid sharing personal things and instruments. We should treat one patient at a time. We should avoid physical contact as far as possible. For that, we should avoid hugging, shaking hands, etc., etc., etc. Instead go for namaste from a comfortable distance. We must make arrangements for some medical tests also, pathological tests also, that are beneficial for early detection of COVID-19 cases. These simple tests are useful for our safety. These tests include the thermal scan, the pulse rate, the SpO2 measure, the respiratory rate, breath holding capacity. By doing this test, we can ensure our patients that we are caring them. Even the staff and doctors should test themselves on daily basis to ensure their safety. We should also keep the records of these tests for our convenience. Now the importance of written consent. Most reputed institutes take written consent of their patients in normal course also. Now the time has come when we have to be very cautious about the legal aspects of our treatments. It is better to take written consent from each and every patient who wishes to do Panchakarma treatment. In this COVID era, a patient who is exposed earlier may be pre-symptomatic or asymptomatic carrier. He may be suffering from other serious anomaly which is not yet diagnosed. Due to the fear factor, patient is frightened due to the Panchakarma treatments, and due to anxiety, he may become panic. Hence, the written consent is having a very much importance. It may save us from the possible medico-legal problems that may arise after the treatments. It should be written in details that I am not suffering from SARI-like or COVID-like symptoms, and I have not came into the contact of any COVID-19 patient. He should not make us responsible for any COVID-19 like infection from our doctors, our staff members, our therapists, etc. So there is a vital importance of written consent. Most of us don't insure us adequately. So need of insurance is very vital. We either don't insure us or insure but we don't get adequate cover. Need of insurance is increased like anything in COVID-19 era. We can insure us in many ways. Life insurance. A doctor's life is extremely important. So he must be insured properly. There are so many formulations, but insurance cover would be 10 times of your actual annual income plus your loan amount and other liabilities. So one must take care of patients and staff also. we can convince them and help them for choosing proper insurance. Term insurance is the best option where you pay very less on a high mortality value. Next is health insurance. Importance of health insurance is ignored many a times. We should consider the skyrocketing expenses in COVID-19, hospitalization in the private care centers. So one must make provisions of sufficient amount of health insurance well in advance. The hospital owner should also encourage our staff members to go for sufficient health insurance. Most of the hospitals have their group health insurance schemes. Nowadays, some insurance companies are coming with Corona special health insurance. One must check all the terms and conditions in their offer document before coming to the conclusion of joining the scheme. In this regard, insurance expert of your own choice may help you. We often hear the news of violence and vandalism against doctors and hospitals. So we need protection for our setup also. General insurance companies provide you suitable policies for the protection of your hospitals and clinics premises. Professional indemnity. You have heard the word? It's a peculiar type of insurance. Professional liability insurance or professional indemnity insurance, which helps doctors vaidyas for bearing the full cost of the demand of the patients in case of legal battle. It helps you to give minimum compensation amount when patient tells you to pay his charges and penalties. Such type of insurances are important nowadays. It was about the need of insurance. Now the safety checklist. We Ayurvedic people are staunch in our Ayurvedic practice. We make medicines in our clinics. We read a lot. We think a lot. We discuss about our problems. But the point is we don't keep the records of our treatments and other activities promptly. The collected data during the period of COVID-19 should be kept safely. We must keep medical records of all our patients 24 by 7. Here is the checklist of some important things to do. All our registrations, licenses, regulations like Shop Act license, MCIM registration certificates, hospital registration certificate should be renewed and kept at hands. All relevant important documents should be preserved in copies. Even the bills and cash memos we get for the purchase of chemicals, sanitizers, safety instruments should be preserved at a safe place. All important devices like fans, lights, ventilators, exhaust fans, generators, fire safety instruments should be periodically checked up and serviced for the safety purpose. The Panchakarma rooms should not be run with AC. So we have to ensure disposal of soaps, shampoos, disposables, leftovers, medicines, Panchakarma waste as per the Biomedical Waste Management Rule 216. The checklist of our stock should be kept ready as there is a difficulty in procuring medicine and instruments in this period. We have to order them well in advance, keeping in mind that the delay to procure them promptly. So this is the safety checklist. The display. Some important documents and instructions should be displayed in our workplace at the prime spot so that all concerned people may read and follow them. The standard operating protocol which we have designed should be kept in front of everybody. If your institution is of a big size and so many staff members are there, we should circulate the guidelines person to person via WhatsApp or emails. Staff safety is a concern of everybody in the institution. The norms regarding staff safety should be displayed at a prime spot so the concerned person can access it easily. Patient's education is also a continuous procedure. Patient's education is also a continuous process nowadays. We must educate them time to time so that they can opt the safety measures. The guidelines regarding patient safety can be circulated widely in the society so that people can take care of themselves. Next, an important subject is make a syndicate for safety and support. As the safety is the concern of everyone in the community, and it has got many dimensions, we must make a syndicate of different professionals which will be mutually benefited. If we face an emergency, we are frightened, anxious, and upset. At this juncture, we require help, advice, and proper guidance. If we wish to shift the patient to a higher center or seek advice of the concerned consultant, we should have a good rapport with our Vaidya friends, allopathic doctors, and hospitals also. If we know each other from the beginning, we, we seek proper help, proper advice, and proper guidance. So we also need an insurance provider, for example, who will guide us to choose ideal insurance policy for us. We should take help lawyers in the case of medico legal consequences. We will also need different chemicals, sanitizing agents, cleaning materials, which we are not used to. So we must keep rapport with the suppliers of these things, who will supply the articles promptly and with a reasonable charge. We will also need social workers, counselors, self-help groups, politicians time to time. If possible, we will make a syndicate of all the probable persons, organizations for any eventuality so that we will be successful in handling any eventuality that may going to occur in near future. We all trust Ayurveda. Ayurvedopadesheshu videyaha paramadara. We always follow the principles of Ayurveda. We have to acquire some new skills in this current unusual scenario. In any case, we will not show any negligence regarding ourselves, our family, our staff members, our institution, and our patients, so that Ayurveda should not get defamed at any cost. The battle against COVID 19 is a challenging and prolonged, where we have to fight on multiple levels as we have discussed in this webinar. It's not an easy task, but we have to fight it at our level best, so that we have to follow the rules strictly. We have to set up SOP universally and follow it till the challenge of this pandemic is finished completely. Henceforth, some changes in the policies, rules, and regulations and our practices may occur. It, it will be depending upon the local and global scenario that may be interlinked. We have to educate us accordingly and go in forward direction steadily and firmly. So my friends, this is all about Panchakarma in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic. The take home message is clear and loud. You can proceed Panchakarma treatments with utmost care and safety. I must thank the MES College, Lote Parshuram, District Ratnagiri, and their organizing committee. I am thankful to Dr. Shamasundar Bhakre, the principal of the college, Dr. Utpat, the vice principal, Dr. Shreyas Joshi, Dr. Manjusha Kulkarni for their cooperation. I am thankful to all the viewers of the webinar. I am also obliged to Vaidya Mrs. Neha for the preparation of this presentation, and Vaidya Mihir and Vaidya Varada for their useful inputs for the excellence. Thank you and namaste. Dhanyavad. Jai Ayurveda.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, on the third day of National Webinar Series on changing trends in Ayurveda practices due to impact of COVID-19, myself, Vaidya Santosh Shiraya Swami, Professor and HOD of Kai Chikitsa Department, appearing in front of you to express my vote of thanks on behalf of MES Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya. First of all, I would like to express my vote of thanks to our today's resource person, Dr. Nachiket Vachasundar sir, who has delivered such a nice lecture full of knowledge. Sir has efficiently covered all the points regarding Panchakarma treatment perspective after COVID-19. So thank you so much, sir, for such effective lecture. Then I would like to convey my vote of thanks to our Honorable Director of IHS and Dean Principal of MS Ayurved Mahavidyalaya, Dr. Shyam Sundar Bhakre sir, who has taken immense efforts to arrange this national webinar series. Sir is our inspiration and he has always have faith in us. So thank you so much, sir, for your kind guidance. I would like to express my vote of thanks to our Maharashtra Education Society Pune, who has permitted us to conduct this webinar series. Then I would like to thank my friend and our Vice Principal, Dr. Sachin Utpat sir, who has cooperated us throughout this entire process. Then I would like to share my vote of thanks to each and every member of HSCT committee who has taken desperate efforts to arrange this webinar series and to make it successful. I would also like to thank the technical support team, without which this webinar series would not have been possible. I would also like to express my vote of thanks to all the teaching staff, non-teaching staff, administration staff and members of local management committee who have helped us directly or indirectly time to time. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our delegates who registered for this webinar series and attended with full enthusiasm and made this webinar series very successful and complete. Thank you so much.